All right, so we're diving into Cal Newport's So Good They Can't Ignore You today.
Ah, yes.
It's that book.
Good one.
Yeah, that kind of flips the whole follow your passion thing on its head, right?
Yeah.
And from what I can see, just from the piles of notes and highlights that you guys sent in, this one really struck a nerve.
Definitely resonated.
So we're going to unpack the big takeaways and then, more importantly,
Yeah.
figure out how all this applies to you guys out there listening.
Totally. It's interesting how this book goes right after that idea, the passion hypothesis.
Right.
The idea that you just, find that job that perfectly matches your passion.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be happy, right?
Exactly.
Like you can be set for life.
Right, and you'll never work a day in your life, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. But your notes really hit on this. Newport really kind of slams that whole concept.
Yeah, like how many times have we heard that, right?
Right.
Follow your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. But Newport's like,
It's not that simple.
yeah, this could actually set you up for a huge crash and burn.
Yeah, and he starts off with a study, right?
Right.
Where most students, they said they had passions,
Yeah.
but those passions usually didn't translate to any jobs that were out there.
Right. How many professional Netflix bingers or Instagram scrollers are there?
Yeah. Not many.
Not a viable career path.
And it's not like turning your passion into a job guarantees happiness either, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, remember that story of Thomas?
Yeah.
Quit his job to become a Zen Buddhist monk.
Figure that was his bliss.
Right, pure bliss.
Yeah.
But even after he got there, he was a master. The monastery didn't magically make his problems disappear.
It's a good reminder that just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you're going to be happy doing it all the time.
Definitely.
And it's kind of depressing that since this whole passion hypothesis blew up,
Yeah.
job satisfaction's actually gone down.
It's downward trend, yeah.
That's kind of a bummer. So if chasing passion isn't the answer,
Right.
what does Newport suggest we do?
Well, he suggests a shift to what he calls the craftsman mindset.
Okay.
So instead of always searching for that, perfect passion job,
Yeah.
the focus should be on building actual skills,
Okay.
getting really, really good at what you do.
Okay. I like the sound of that. But what does that actually look like in real life?
It's a real mindset shift.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, what do I want from my work?
Yeah.
You ask, what value can I bring to the table?
Oh.
Like that Steve Martin quote you highlighted.
Oh, yeah.
Be so good they can't ignore you.
Yeah. I love that quote.
That kind of sums it up perfectly.
So it's like you become so good at what you do
Yeah.
that you kind of force opportunities to come to you.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
But how do we actually get to that level?
Right.
Does he have any tips on how to do that?
Well, he talks a lot about deliberate practice,
Yeah.
which is, it's more than just putting in the hours, right?
Right.
It's about pushing past your comfort zone,
Okay.
getting feedback that actually helps you improve,
Yeah.
always striving to be better.
Yeah.
So you mentioned feeling stuck in a rut at work.
Right.
What if instead of, going through the motions,
Yeah.
you focused on mastering one skill
Okay.
that could really make a difference in your job?
That's a great point. I'm already thinking of a few skills I could work on there.
Yeah.
So it's not just about doing the work. It's about doing the right work to get better.
Exactly. And it's not just mindless repetition either.
Okay.
Think about, a musician practicing for a concert.
Yeah.
They don't just play the same song over and over again.
Right.
They break it down.
Yeah.
Analyze the tricky parts.
Right.
Work on those specific areas to improve.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's about being intentional.
Yeah.
Which actually reminds me of another big concept you highlighted, this whole career capital thing.
Can you break that down a bit?
Yeah, career capital is basically the collection of all those rare, valuable skills
Okay.
that you build through deliberate practice. It's
Yep.
what makes you stand out in the job market.
Right.
It gives you that power to pursue work you actually enjoy.
So it's like your secret weapon in the job world.
Exactly.
You need to have those skills to back it up.
It's not enough to just be passionate,
Which reminds me of those contrasting stories in the book Lori and Alex.
right?
Yeah, good examples.
Laura, who quit her accounting job to open a yoga studio because follow your passion.
Right, exactly.
But, she had no business experience,
Yeah.
and it totally flopped.
Yeah, big failure.
And then there's Alex, who wanted to be a TV writer, but he realized passion wasn't enough.
Especially in that field.
Yeah, super competitive, so he honed his writing skills.
Deliberate practice.
Yeah, exactly. And he got to the point where he was so good, people had to notice.
Exactly. He built that capital.
That really highlights how much career capital matters. It can seriously make or break your dreams.
is the key.
But I think what a lot of us want is, more control and autonomy in our work.
Oh, for sure.
How does career capital play into that?
That's a great question. It's
Mhm.
true, right?
Yeah,
Most of us want to feel like we've got some say in our work.
for sure.
But Newport, he warns against this,
Hmm.
thinking that you can just demand control
Okay.
without having the career capital to back it up.
Okay. Can you give us an example of what you mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he talks about Jane in the book
Yeah.
who wanted to, ditch that whole 9 to 5,
Right.
travel the world while blogging. Like,
The digital nomad dream.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She figured, I can just monetize my blog, live
Right.
the life of freedom. But problem was,
Yeah.
she didn't actually know that much about blogging, marketing.
Oh, yeah. You need the skills.
Yeah, or creating content that people actually want to read.
It's not as easy as it looks, right? People think you can just slap a website together and the money's going to come rolling in.
Yeah, it's not that simple.
But you got to have the skills to make it work.
You got to build something valuable.
Yeah.
And then there's another trap he points out,
Okay.
trading your hard-won control for a promotion.
Oh, interesting.
That might not actually be a good fit.
Oh, okay.
Remember the story of Lulu, the software developer?
Yeah.
She had spent years building up her career capital, right?
Okay.
And she finally negotiated, a shorter work week.
Okay.
She had more control over her time.
Nice. Yeah.
But then her company offered her this promotion,
Mm-hmm.
That meant going back to full-time hours,
Oh.
managing a huge team.
Oh, wow.
Even though it was tempting,
Yeah, for sure.
she knew it wasn't what she really wanted,
Right.
so she turned it down.
It's a good reminder that saying no to something shiny
Sometimes, yeah.
can actually be good to protect that control you've worked so hard for.
Serve your autonomy.
Okay, so we've talked about passion, the craftsman mindset,
Right.
deliberate practice, and career capital.
Yeah, building those skills.
But there's this other concept that I find fascinating, this whole finding your mission thing.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious about this one, especially, from my own situation.
Sure, yeah.
I feel like something's missing in my work. Like I'm not really sure what it all adds up to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
And that's kind of what he's talking about with this mission thing, right?
This is where it gets interesting
Yeah.
because you're talking about giving your work like a deeper meaning, a
Yeah.
sense of purpose that goes beyond the paycheck.
Yeah.
But what's cool is Newport doesn't think you need to have this like fully formed mission statement
Right. Okay.
from day one.
Yeah.
He says it emerges organically as you get better at what you do.
So you don't have to,
You don't need a grand vision.
yeah, you don't need to have it figured out from the start.
It unfolds along the way.
Yeah, you discover it on the way.
And he brings in this really fascinating idea
Okay.
called the adjacent possible.
Okay. What's that?
It's basically the idea that, new discoveries and innovations,
Huh.
they happen at the edge of what we already know.
Yeah.
It's like little doors opening up to new possibilities.
I like that. Yeah.
And Newport says that your mission often lies in this adjacent possible,
Interesting.
waiting to be uncovered as you, explore your field.
Oh, so it's about
Push some of those boundaries.
yeah, pushing those boundaries, seeing what's out there
Yeah.
beyond what we know.
Seeing what's out there.
And then bam, your mission emerges.
Yeah.
Okay.
You discover it.
So in my field, right?
Right.
What would that look like?
What are some of those unexplored areas?
Yeah.
The things that people haven't quite figured out yet.
Right.
That's where your mission might be,
He's waiting for me.
waiting to be discovered.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And it reminds me of that example in the book, Dr. Sabeti, the biologist.
Yeah, I loved that.
Her mission is to use technology to fight diseases.
Right.
Groundbreaking work.
Absolutely groundbreaking.
She's a perfect example of someone who found her mission
Yeah.
by exploring those edges of her field.
Right, going into the unknown.
And she didn't just stumble upon it, right?
Yeah.
She created it, by combining her expertise
Yeah,
with that desire to make a real difference.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so having a mission is important,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only half the battle, right?
Right. We can't just sit around and dream about it.
You got to do something, yeah.
You got to take action.
So that's where his advice on making bold bets comes in.
This is where it gets real.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
He doesn't just say, find your mission and twiddle your thumbs.
Right.
He says, take action.
Yeah.
Make those moves
Okay.
that might feel scary, but ultimately lead you closer to what you're meant to be doing.
Okay, are we supposed to just quit our jobs and move to a tropical island to pursue our newfound mission?
Not exactly. He's actually a big advocate for what he calls small bets.
Okay, that sounds more manageable.
Yeah, these are like manageable projects,
Okay.
little experiments.
Okay.
They let you test out your ideas,
Right.
get feedback, make adjustments as you go.
Oh, that's smart.
It's about breaking down your big mission into smaller,
Less intimidating.
less intimidating steps. Yeah.
So instead of doing everything at once,
Right.
you're taking calculated risks,
Gathering information,
learning.
one step at a time
Yeah.
until you reach your destination.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it all figured out right
Yeah.
from the start.
You just got to start moving.
Yeah. Think about it.
Yeah.
You mentioned feeling stuck.
Yeah.
What if you started thinking of your work as a series of small bets?
Oh, that's interesting.
What's one project I could take on
Yeah.
that would push me out of my comfort zone?
Yeah. Maybe even move you closer to that mission.
Oh, that's a really good question to think about. I'm already brainstorming here.
Good, good.
But ultimately, to really make an impact,
Yeah.
your work can't just be good.
Right.
It's got to stand out.
Right. It has to be more than just good.
Yeah.
And that's where his emphasis on remarkable work comes in.
Okay.
It's got to be so compelling,
Yes.
so unique, so good that people can't help but talk about it.
All right. So it's not enough to just be competent. You got to be exceptional.
You got to stand out. How do we do that?
It's about going above and beyond, right?
Yeah.
Pushing the limits,
Yeah.
creating something that truly stands out.
So, can you give me an example?
Remember that story of Giles, the programmer?
Oh, yeah, the AI guy.
He developed that open source AI
Yeah, that could write music.
that could write music.
Yeah, that was
It was so innovative, so intriguing.
It was a cool project.
It generated so much buzz.
Right.
It was a perfect example of remarkable work.
Right, because it was so different.
It was different.
Unexpected.
It caught people's attention.
Right.
It made them want to learn more.
It was remarkable, for sure.
That's what we're talking about.
So you don't have to be like a famous musician or a scientist to do remarkable work.
You can find those opportunities in any field.
You can be remarkable in anything you do.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's about bringing that extra level of creativity, ingenuity,
Yeah.
and passion.
So think about my own work.
Right.
What can I do to make it more remarkable?
What can you do to make it stand out?
Stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, make it exceptional.
Yeah.
Don't blend in.
That's a great question.
It ties in with everything we've been talking about.
It all comes together.
The craftsman mindset,
Yeah.
deliberate practice, career capital,
Yeah.
a sense of mission
To create something truly exceptional.
to create something remarkable.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, a lot to unpack.
Can we just recap the key takeaways from so good they can't ignore you?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's do it.
So good they can't ignore you.
Yeah.
It's basically saying we don't have to be stuck with this find your passion thing.
It's a whole different way of looking at things.
Yeah, we can build the skills,
Yeah.
the autonomy, and a mission that, we really care about.
By making smart choices, yeah.
Yeah, through hard work.
It's empowering, really.
Instead of waiting for that dream job.
Yeah, it's not going to just fall in your lap.
Right. It's like you can actually create it.
You build it.
Yeah, and instead of asking, what do I want? It's like,
Yeah.
what can I offer?
What skills do I have?
Yeah, what skills do I have to bring to the table?
Exactly.
And then from there, it's mastering your craft.
Right, building those skills, that career capital.
Yeah, that career capital, and then exploring,
The adjacent possible.
yeah, what's out there.
Right. Push those
Or
boundaries.
taking those small bets. Right.
Little steps.
Testing the waters, getting feedback.
Not being afraid to experiment.
Yeah, it's okay to course correct.
Exactly.
You don't need to have all the answers right away.
You learn as you go.
But you have to be willing to try things out.
That's the key.
This whole conversation has really been really energizing.
I'm glad to hear that.
This book really shakes things up.
Throws out the old rule book.
Gives us a new way to think about building a career.
A fulfilling career, yeah.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this. If you could take one concrete step,
This week,
this week, to build your career capital
just one thing.
or explore those possibilities in your field,
What would it be?
don't overthink it
Yeah, just pick one small action.
and commit to it.
That's all it takes to get started.
Because remember,
Yeah.
your dream career isn't some mythical thing.
It's not a unicorn.
You have to create it.
Through dedication, through learning,
And a willingness to,
embrace the unknown.
go out there and make those bold bets.
Be remarkable.
Become so good they can't ignore you.
Until next time.